Hi everyone, I'm Sal Visca, Chief Technology Officer of Elastic Path. I'm here today at Carnival Corporation with John Padgett, Chief Experience and Innovation Officer. And today we're going to talk about how Carnival Corporation is transforming the guest experience. So John, really looking forward to the conversation today.
Absolutely, thanks for having me.
Yeah. So John, can you tell me about this Medallion Class experience and what it's all about?
The Medallion Class experience is something we've been working on for the last 4 years. And it's all about taking guest experiences to the next level by making them more personal, simple, and hassle-free. And we do that at scale, and we think that's never been done before. You know, elite vacations that guests had personalized experiences have been around for hundreds of years. But now, through innovation and connectivity, we're confident we can deliver elite level vacations to almost anyone. And here's how we do it, starting with the Ocean Medallion. And it's basically a device that we give to every one of our guests to connect them to our overall vacation ecosystem, which is a series of almost 5,000 sensors, 4,000 door portals, many thousand crew devices that enables personalized service delivery at scale. And so this is super special. It has no on-off button, it has no charging, no switches, no configurations, no associations. From a guest perspective, all they have to do is have it, and it enables a personalized guest experience without any hassle across an entire vacation.
So John, how do you think about how commerce gets embedded in the fabric of this kind of experience?
Well, when you're thinking about a personalized, simplified experience, you certainly can't have it contaminated with point of sales and complicated transactions. And so we think about commerce as essentially any element of the guest experience can be commercialized or not. Whether it has a price or not really doesn't matter. It's really whether the guest wants it or not. And so we make the commerce element of that simply an element of the guest experience versus a transaction. From a guest perspective, it's all about maximizing the value of their time, because that vacation time is so priceless. And so we want guests to have as many experiences as possible during that vacation time. Any minute they're in a line or waiting for a transaction or signing a receipt, all of that is, to me, toxic to the overall experiences. And so we work relentlessly just to get rid of all that. Things like POSs are structural in industry. They're structural across all retail and travel. But when you really get down to it, you don't really need it.
It's true. It's funny how we take technologies that exist today and try to adapt it to the customer. But if you really look at, as you guys have done, where the guest is at the very center of it, and then reinvent everything around it. So can you talk a little bit about that innovation process and how you really turned it on its head really, and kind of started with the guest at the center?
We call it guest centricity. And what that means is that we're willing to change anything it takes to deliver the maximum experience to that guest. And then we'll reconstruct all those dimensions. And so that's a very different mindset than having a particular business that you're in that has an operation that supports it, that yields a product or service that you then market and sell. Our focus is to make everything a function of the guest. And so where the business, the operation, the creative execution, as well as the technology is all there to optimally support that guest experience.
Yeah, it's true. You know, traditional commerce is about the funnel and people starting the experience and trying to figure out what products there are. But we really, again, want to bring commerce into the experience. And we, having an API approach to commerce, you kind of embed it in the experience and kind of keep it below the surface. The experience is what's important. You're not there to actually shop.
Yeah.
So
I like to call it take transactions to interactions, because transactions aren't adding any value. And so we can take time that is historically invested in a transaction, like a point of sale transaction, extract that from the experience, make that interaction with the crew member or team member personalized, customized, and really adding value to that experience. That's when you kind of change the game. And that's what we're doing with Medallion Class Experience. And one of the biggest challenges that we've experienced thus far is once you actually achieve that goal, actually communicating it to consumers and guests, because they're so traditionally institutionalized in knowing that you need to go stand in a line or you need to transact or you need to do something. And we say, no, what do you do with the Ocean Medallion? I say, nothing, just have it. What do I have to do to purchase this this item? Nothing, just pick it up and move along.
Yeah.
So the hardest thing to do once you achieve a frictionless environment is to say you don't have to do anything.
We've been into some of the shops, buying things in the shops, and people know your name straight away when it's because of the medallion.
Which makes it feel as though they know you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a bit more personal. Making purchases also, it's pretty easy that way. They have the little scanners all around the ship so you can buy your coffee or whatever, and it's just easy.
Commerce is in the shadows because it's just something that becomes accretive with your experience engagements. As the more experiences you engage, and if you want to take a piece of that experience with you, then the commerce component of that just naturally occurs and you just continue with your overall experience.